Great morning. It is, let's see, the 13th, Monday the 13th, and we're going to pull today from Messenger Oracle, the Witch's Wisdom Oracle, and a Sacred Awakening. So let's see what the universe is going to have me speak about this morning. It's always interesting when these come out because you just never know what's going to be out there for you to talk on. And so we'll see. Have a bit of a debacle this morning. My medication that I need is, I'm down to like a day and a half. And they were supposed to be mailing my medications out from the VA. Resistance. And it didn't come. So I called the neurologist this morning and said, did they mail my medications? And she said, well, you have to talk to the pharmacy. So I called the pharmacy. And they told me, well, we mailed them out. They were delivered on Saturday. I said, well, I didn't get them. They were delivered where? They sent them to Florida. I kid you not. From El Paso. I mean, anybody with any ounce of anything would know they don't go to Florida. But no, they sent them to Florida. So they're supposed to be sending me out an emergency thing. But we'll see. Okay, here the ancient ones. And I may look up in the book and see just where they're going with that. Okay. I'm getting some feed on that. And balance. Okay. I see where we're going with this. We definitely need to keep in balance. Like one thing that's been happening with this pandemic is there's been a little more balance in place when it comes to, oh, this is interesting. Balance, you got part of the tree showing and part of it not, and the crow over here. When there haven't been all these people out, the pollution's gone down. Okay, so we've had a little bit more balance when it comes to the whole of the planet, the planetary whole. And especially places like India. If you have ever been in India, I mean, they're out there burning the trash and all of the vehicles going. And the smog and stuff is just horrid there. Okay, so we have a little more balance coming in. But again, people are resistant to maybe cutting back on some of these things. And, you know, in hearing the ancient ones, that reminds me of, you know, Native American traditions. When they took something from the earth, they always gave back something in return. Okay, so to keep the balance and only use what you need, not overusing things. And also, it was having respect for whatever was given. Like if they had to take the life of an animal to provide sustenance, they would always thank the animal and be grateful for what was given. And they used everything that they had. So again, this is like going back to, and people will resist that, going back to a time and a way of living that we are not pushing for all the new miracle things to happen. But I'm going to look in the book and see just what it's saying about here, the ancient ones. That'll be interesting. I haven't really read anything from this book. Okay, it's nice. It's a small, this is what it has for here, the ancient ones. And again, this is from the Messenger Oracle, which you can get on Amazon. Okay, most of the things I have you can get on Amazon. I do have a few that I got on Etsy, which are more not mass marketed decks. Okay, but this is a mass market piece. The indigenous peoples of the world are those who have lived in harmony with the land for countless generations. Yeah, that's what it's going to be about. We have to be more harmonious with the land. We have to have the trees. The trees make oxygen. The plants make oxygen. They also, the root system of the trees hold the soil in place. If they take too many trees out, you'll have landslides, you'll have all these different problems going on. Also, if you are seeing a place and it's a big hillside, steep hillside, and you see the trees that are growing up this way instead of straight up, you know that that land is moving. So don't ever buy a house where you have a big projection up there and you see trees that are kind of hewed and then growing up, because it means that land is moving. Okay, not a real safe place to be. You need to have, again, the trees, the root system to hold the soil in place. And if you take out of the land, you need to replenish it. They have farms have worked the soil so much without putting back the natural things. Now, they would do things like putting fish by the places they were planting, and a fish, when it decomposes, it has a lot of elements to add to the soil. Okay, so we need to go back to more of that type of farming and, again, taking care of the land where we haven't been. Okay, so among them, it says, are the elders whose knowledge and wisdom can teach our relationship with nature, of living a life of empathic awareness, and to better understand our role as caretakers of the earth. And again, there's resistance to that. People want to have a disposable lifestyle, okay? It would be better if we could find a way to use more organic things and to go there and take, be able to get milk or something in a container you already have or something of that effect. If they could set up something where we're not using so much disposable things, that would better take care of things. They can teach us the wisdom of taking only what we need, again, wasting little, honoring all sacrifices made that you may live and grow. Hear the wisdom of the ancient ones and learn from their knowledge, lore, and traditions. Yeah, I think, and a lot of times, the younger population, especially when you have younger teenagers, they think they know it all. My advice to them is leave home while you still know it all, because the longer they're gone, the more they know that, okay, their parents weren't so stupid. They actually did know something. When you've lived a long time on the planet, like I'm up here to 70 years, we see a lot of changes that the young people have never seen. So we know the changes and cycles that happen with things. when it comes to political stuff. And, there are a lot of younger people that don't believe the Holocaust happened. Okay? There are a lot of crazy people out there that still think the world is flat. I kid you not. There are those that think there is a place in the center of the earth that people are living, where there's molten lava, okay? In the center of the earth is magma and stuff. So, I mean, just a lot of things. And wisdom and things that were different things that we came up with from the younger generation. Like growing up, it was a big thing when you got a TV, and all the TV things were black and white. Okay, you remember black and white TV? There were no color. So it was a huge deal when color came in, and you saw, oh my God, So again, lots of different things. We had different types of vehicles back there, much bigger cars. Things cost a lot less. So, there used to be a time where medium income people could afford house. Now it's almost impossible. So things have changed, not for the better many times, but we've been kind of railroaded into this system. You used to have, in old times, people used to barter stuff. And I've done bartering of things before, not recently, but in past, I've done some bartering of things. Maybe we can go back to more bartering, exchanges between people that's not all, necessarily monetary. Okay. So again, it's just, people are having resistance. One thing I wanted to do and I didn't do, and I wish I had, was getting out there and getting the stories of these people that are like 100 years old. What wisdom do you have? What is the one thing you would like to tell people that you think is so important? And people are not asking them. They are resistant. They want to have new, better, improved. And the new, better, improved is not always new, better, and improved. You used to have doctors that were, they would go out to the poor communities and they would get like a chicken in exchange or something, There was more bartering going on. But people have become resistant to that. And so, and they don't want to know the ways of the old. They want to have new, fresh ideas, and they think that, that this monetary economy is the best, but it's become a very difficult thing. Also, the housing situation. People can't afford even rent. Things have gotten so out of hand, and they are so imbalanced between money that people are making that are living paycheck to paycheck versus how these people with a lot of money that own the houses, own these buildings, have no concept of what it is to have to live paycheck to paycheck and barely putting food on the table, and the fear that if somebody gets sick, you can't afford to go to a doctor. So what has happened? Okay? So we need to listen to our elders, and even I say that. I'm 70, and I, still have elders out there that are maybe 100 that have 30 years more of experience in seeing things from a different level than I do. Okay? So we need to be careful, and we need to get things more in balance. And I hope with this new administration coming in that things will become more in balance. They're trying to take lands away from the Native Americans, what little they have, so that they can get the drilling and do other things with this land, trying to privatize it. Now, the Native Americans do not own that land. Believe it or not. They made treaties with the Native Americans, gave so much land, but they do not own it. The government owns it. Okay? These things need to be changed. We need to look at things, need to honor what the treaties were. They're not being honored. They're not taking care of our Native American indigenous population, and they are the true Americans, okay? They are the true Americans. If you are not Native American, indigenous to this land, and even they came here from somewhere else to begin with, okay? But that was thousands of years ago. They traveled to this land and started to make it their home, okay? But something needs to change with that. The way they are treating the indigenous population, and they could learn something from the elders. I'm not saying the younger Native Americans. Okay, it's like the younger population everywhere. But if they talk to those that are like 100 years old, a century they have been on this planet, they could give them some good wisdom, good advice, okay? They should be honored, and we should, take down their stories before they are lost. So I'm going to leave this here. For those that are new watchers, if you enjoyed this channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy the content, please give a thumbs up. It costs you nothing. It takes a second, and I so appreciate it to see if people are enjoying the content, if they're getting something from it, okay? So love and light to everyone. Namaste and aho. Let it be. Let us get through this in a better way than we were before. Okay, this pandemic is giving people time to sit back and take stock of what's important and what's not. Okay, if you are a person out there, please don't be greedy and keep stockpiling and hoarding things. Everybody, we need to share. Okay, we need to share. This greed mode is not going to benefit people in the end. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. See you online. Aho. I hope everyone is staying safe, staying well. Please use precautionary measures. Thanks for tuning in.